Hello and welcome to Thailand's Alive at 45. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe and follow for more great holiday videos. Hello and welcome to Thailand's Alive at 45. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe and follow for more great holiday videos. For all of those of you who have subscribed, I'm really grateful and thank you very much. I mean, it's good. It really helps me out. I'm a small channel and I don't have the amount of subscribers or hits that other people have. I watch other people's Thailand channels and they're great actually. So please subscribe, as it really does help me. And for those who have subscribed, like I said, thank you very much. Now, how to get by in Thailand? Right, now I've been to Thailand many times. I am British and I am not into sport. I like to do creative things. So sitting around in bars drinking all day, it essentially is not for me. I mean, I don't go to the pub at home. I sit at home and I make radio controlled model projects. So I convert plastic kits to radio. I build large radio controlled planes on a channel that I do in the UK only. Now I don't mix the two, so I won't say the name of the channel that I do at home. I was an aircraft fitter. I originally started off as an apprentice at Rolls-Royce, where I was a what they call a metal detail fitter, which is a sheet metal fitter for jet engines. And then I finished that apprenticeship. I became a machinist for a while. Then I left because when you do an apprenticeship somewhere, you want to see the big wide world of aircraft. Excuse me. So I left for a while. And what did I do then? I returned to aircraft plastics. And then from aircraft plastics, I went into actual aircraft, where I became an aircraft fitter. And my last job in aircraft was on mains undercarriage hydraulics. All right. Now, so I mean, my thing is creativity and making things. When I was an apprentice, you do a year's broad-based engineering training, and I averaged. They used to mark you out a 9 for some reason, right? 3 for this, 3 for that, and 3 for something else. So out of 9, I scored 7 for hand skills, which is filing, cutting, drilling, anything to do with hand tools, which was for good. So I got my first choice, which was metal detail fitting. And like I said, I mean, I'm a skilled craftsman from Rolls-Royce, and before I worked at Rolls-Royce as a child, I built plastic kits and also with models, and then I didn't build any models, and from about 14 to about nearly 30, 28, 27, 28, 30, I was out gallivanting, drinking. I'm the exact opposite now of what I was when I was younger. So I wasn't out gallivanting and drinking at 14, but I was in the Army Cadets at 14. I was an NCO in the Army Cadets. I was a Lance Corporal. I used to teach the other kids map reading, skillet arms, which is now called weapons training, and drill. And then from there, I didn't really do anything for a year, and then I joined the Army Reserve at 17, underage, on boys' money. So I was a boy in a man's unit. In those days, you could actually slip the net. I think you can still slip the net now, but you will not see action until you're 18. I've never saw action because it was the Cold War. However, I stayed in the Army Reserve for 5 years, where I became a radio operator. I mean, I'm good at numbers games. I mean, not the numbers game as in illegal gambling, but numbers games. So engineering is all a numbers game. You're filing 2 thousandths of an inch or what do you call it, thousandths of a millimeter or whatever it is. I don't do metric really. And radio operating, Army radio operating is all frequencies. So it's all numbers. And nowadays I'm a teacher. I did a course at local college, FATEC certificate, further adult education, education teaching certificate, FEDC, City and Guild 7307, where I teach IT and community, which is mostly people who are older than me who can't do Facebook and emails. And yeah, so that's, once you go into IT, that's all another numbers game for all your IT heads on there, tech heads, you know, 168.0.1, whatever. That's another numbers game, and it always reminded me, IT, of Army radio operating, because it's a similar deal over radio frequencies. You get, without going breaking the Official Secrets Act, you will get a change in radio frequencies for security and Army radios, Army signaling. You will not talk in clear. Forget anything you've seen on war films where they'll say, "But Colonel, they're over the hill," and none of that happens. All right, most radio silence is maintained as long as you can, because as soon as you broadcast, they do what's called DF, which they take, I mean, this is going back, they used to take two bearings on you, take a back bearing on each, and where those lines cross, it's where you are, and then they fire on you, and you get a counter battery sheet. You're not actually with your guns, you're in front of your guns. And I watch them in Ukraine now, where they will put a single track gun in, okay? They will fire that gun. Somebody somewhere else is doing the fire mission. They will fire that gun against the enemy, and then as soon as they have completed that fire mission, they will withdraw that gun and put it somewhere else, because the chances of getting DF'd once you fired, and once that radio broadcast has been done for that fire mission, are very, very high, and no army wants to lose people. All armies want to win their war, and they don't want to lose people. All right, so let's get back to Thailand. All right, so Thailand, how to get by. Okay, well, the first one is what it says on the British government website. It'll say it on every other European, probably an English-speaking world website. When you come here, don't get involved in politics. All right. Any demonstrations against the King of Thailand, do not join in with it, all right? It's nothing to do with you. Even if you're one of these, I'm at one with the world and everything's groovy, forget it. Stay away from it, all right? Also, don't, in the UK, we can pretty much say what we like about the royal family, and in all of it, you cannot do that here, all right? So don't make any remarks about the King of Thailand or the Thai royal family. Don't do it. You could land yourself in more than hot water over any of that, all right? There's a few other things, like if a coin drops on the floor, don't step on it, because it looks like you're stepping on the king, but anyway, all right. And another one is going commando, so make sure you've got underwear on them. How they police that, I don't know, all right, but they want you to have underwear on whilst you're in Thailand with your shorts on. Personally, I wear long trousers. This is a good one on how to get by. When you get here, you can go on to the markets here are absolutely wonderful. I love Thai markets. Like I said, I'm not into sat around in bars with bar girls drinking all day. I find that the bar girls are very good looking and they're very nice, okay? However, I find it boring, all right? But what I do find stimulating is Thai markets, and when you're on the market, you can buy yourself a pair of sort of these very thin, you don't want those sort of sweatpants, or what they call jogging bottoms in the UK, the fleece line things. You can buy yourself very thin, sort of what they call tracksuit bottoms, all right? And they allow you to remain cool. And if you wear socks and trainers, what the Americans call sneakers, that's got your feet, ankles and legs protected from bites. Because I don't know about you, but for me, these things fly around in a sort of squadron, and they see my skin and they make a beeline for it, all right? So I get bit to high heaven, unbelievably. So, all right, I've got short sleeves on here. Preferably, if I could find something cool, I'd wear long sleeves, because it's the risk of getting bitten, all right? I find the mosquito bites, whatever these things are, to be more painful than itching, all right? But if you go here, another one for you is the local pharmacy. So if you're British, yeah? Okay, if you're British, they don't have a national health service here. So if you've got to go to the hospital for something, you've got to pay. And it's according to whatever hospital you go to, how much that charge will be. So in the Pattaya, which is a tourist place, hospitals will be quite expensive. However, if you come to a hospital out in one of the provinces, that price will drop a bit, all right? And without free healthcare, their pharmacies are very, very good. So their pharmacies can dispense some antibiotics, some not. They will give you very, very good advice and help you no end, all right? So if you do get bitten, I'll go into food in a minute. If you do get bitten, go to your pharmacy. There's literally more than one on every street corner here, all right? And the pharmacists are absolute experts at diagnosing and giving you a prognosis, which is what's going to happen to you later on with it, of your ailment when you go in, all right? And they'll sell it for quite a cheap. I mean, you can get something like this cream you rub on for insect bites for what, 20 baht, which is in what's that, in just under 50, about 50 pence, all right, which is cheap, all right? If you're out by that at home, it's going to be about a couple of quid, isn't it? A couple of pounds, all right? So yeah, visit your local pharmacy, all right? And let's get on to food now. Now, food. Okay, how to get by in Thailand. Food. So when you get here, you get off the plane, you've been eating the food off the airline, and you, I always say, every time I visit Thailand, I leave my stomach behind for a while, because you leave UK time, you fly 12 hours, and then you land in Thailand 12 hours later. You're awake when you should be asleep. You've lost nearly a day out of your sleep. I mean, I don't sleep very well on an airplane. Who does? Okay, apart from people who can afford first class. But I go economy. So, yeah. So your stomach's upside down, all right? So if you go into, I will say this, most Brits arrive, they will go down to Pattaya or one of the other big holiday resorts. If you're in Pattaya, okay, so you've got Soi Buakhao, Central Pattaya. On that road is a restaurant owned by a British guy called Cheap Charlie's, and he will sell you beans on toast, bacon sandwiches, Sunday dinners, and every other British meal you could possibly imagine. All right, and at a reasonable rate. And personally, I have beans on toast when I get here because it settles my stomach. Because you're literally you're eating on your arrival from the UK. You're eating when you should be asleep in the middle of the night. All right, so something like beans on toast. All right. Now I looked at the internet and they recommend what's called a brat diet. If you've got any disturbance in your stomach and your, you know, your, what do you call it, your eating clock, You could go on, and this is at your own risk, all right? Don't come back to me and say, oh yeah, all right? So you've got what's called the brat diet, bananas, rice, and toast. That will settle your stomach, all right? You can get rice from the 7-Eleven. A 7-Eleven is a convenience store, all right? Exactly the same as what you get at home. They're a little bit priced up compared to a supermarket. However, they are convenient, all right? So you can buy bananas, rice, and bread, all right? So you find it hard where you're going to toast, all right? So bananas, rice, and bread. And if you eat that, all right, it might seem a bit unusual, but it hopefully may settle your stomach, but it's at your own risk, all right? And now, the food in Thailand. The food in Thailand is very delicious. It's attractive food. It's cheap. If you eat with the locals, you will not pay the price in you do in a tourist trap. They have some wonderful food. I don't like curry, all right, because they got this thing. All British people like curry. I don't like curry. I never have done. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the look of it, and I don't like anything to do with it at all. And in all of it, some of their food is highly attractive. They do a lot of chicken and pork here. Pork, I don't like it at home. I find it bland and boring. But I do love chicken. I do love noodles. Now, just a quick word about I won't go into it too much. The way the food is prepared in Thailand is different from the way it is prepared in UK. So this may affect your stomach. All right. So ease yourself into Thai food. Don't get off the plane. Don't go straight to a roadside stall and eat a ton of food and then land up. Are you unwell? Well, you could be. I don't know. All right, but you could be unwell. All right, because your stomach, your British stomach, will not cope with the food. Excuse me. With the food and the way it's been prepared here. All right. It's different. This is Southeast Asia. It's not the Western world. So they've got their way of doing things. You're visiting, you're a guest, all right? So ease yourself in, all right? So eat something that you're used to and then ease yourself in to the Thai food, all right? If you're here for a while, okay? If you're here for a week, forget it, all right? Okay, forget it. All right, you don't want to upset your stomach for a week. But if you stay here for 3 months, you could ease yourself into Thai food, and you would find a very big difference in your budget. It's nutritious and it is very, very tasty. Yeah, it's very, very nice. I mean, I love sticky rice. I love noodles. I love chicken. And fish. Okay, but you've got to ease yourself in. You cannot, unless you've got, I mean, some people are just built of iron, aren't they? But the majority of people aren't. So don't upset your stomach because, like I said, if you're coming from the UK, you get off the plane, all right? You haven't had any sleep, you land in Pattaya. You go straight out drinking, say you're one of these guys who drinks about 8 pints a night. Some people do, all right, they'll drink a gallon of beer a night, and then you'll drink all day as well on that Leo beer, which is not for the faint-hearted, yeah? I mean, I remember bumping into one guy and he said, I don't like the Leo, I like Peroni, but you'd have to shop around to find Peroni is it Peroni in Pattaya, all right? So the majority of it's Leo, all right? So you get off the plane, you start sinking the Leo beers, you're drinking all day, after night, and you're eating all the Thai food. Right, come 24, 48 hours, you're going to feel unwell. Now, a lot of guys from the UK are going to be my age and older, that's 60 and up. If you've got underlying health conditions, that's not going to do you a lot of good, and your holiday is going to suffer for it. So how to get by is to literally wean yourself off of UK food, wean yourself onto Thai food, all right? Don't make a catastrophic change overnight, because that's just not going to do you any good, all right? And that would be my recommendation. It really is a sort of crossover. But if you're here for, I mean, in the past, I mean, I've been coming to Thailand now since 2019. A lockdown obviously didn't come. And if the first time I ever came was for 2 weeks. You can do 10 days here. What it was, I found a trip here once for 10 days, and it was cheaper than 2 weeks or something. I don't know, something like that. So, I mean, I've got to come to suit my budget. This hotel room's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, it's off the tourist track in an industrial city. This is £15 a night. I mean, you can't go wrong. Mahachai, I can only sell it to people. Beautiful. It's got like a river, and it's not overly far from the sea. It's in the Bangkok metropolitan area. So it's a bit like Greater London or Greater Manchester. All right, same sort of deal. So yeah, over to food. Don't sort of dive in feet first, and fools rush in where angels fear to tread. I mean, I think that's the best way to look at it. But if you're here for longer than a month, you could wean yourself onto the Thai food, and once you've weaned yourself onto that, you're going to get enough vitamins, nutrients, everything from that food to excuse me, to live healthily on. All right, and it's cheap. Now, these shops, Tops and 7-Eleven, convenience stores. In Pattaya, there's a giant supermarket, Tops supermarket. I checked Tops out. They're owned by Waitrose in the UK. But who owns Waitrose, I don't know. I mean, have a look at my video of Broken Britain. I mean, who knows who owns what nowadays? These companies give this corporate British atmosphere, but is it? You know, you don't know. It's all been floated, hasn't it, on the stock market. When I say floated, I mean stock market. All right. So you could actually, in a hotel room, you could actually create your own food. All right, but living on noodles and cans of fish, or cans of meat, or whatever, you need something hot and cooked properly, don't you? All right. So play it safe. All right, play it safe. This channel doesn't do sex, it doesn't do bar girls, it doesn't do anything where people walk on the wild side, all right? Personally, could I live without Pattaya? It's not my scene, Pattaya. I have been there many times to make videos and films. My choice would be Jomtien Beach. And North Pattaya, I would say, is for families. I met up with an old school friend when I was there last time, and her and her husband, and they were staying in a resort there, which was very family orientated. They did a light show on the beach on the evening, and you could order meals and eat out on the beach, which was literally, you could have filled out your hotel room onto the beach. Yeah, it was great. And Central Pattaya, though, is everything you think that Pattaya is. And I've got to be honest with you, I tend to go out for, if I'm there, I don't even drink. I go out for a walk, of which I make a film, and then I come in about 11 o'clock with a bottle of milk, because I literally, like I said, when I was younger, I didn't build it models when I was younger, or kits or anything like that, or really do any photography. I was out drinking, girls, discotheques, nightclubs. There was one era in the 80s where I used to be in the pub dinner time and night time, and just drink, and girls, and just enjoy myself. And then I came back around to model making, photography, all the creative pursuits, around 28 years old. I don't mind a drink. I don't drink on my own. I do all these trips on my own. I don't come here with a gang of mates. I find that if I did come here with a gang of friends, I wouldn't be able to do what I like to do. All right, so time spent on my own, for me, is sacrosanct. It's good. You know, it means I can do what I want. I can go and talk to who I want. All right, and if I don't feel like it one day, I don't know. You know, say you're with a gang of mates and you don't feel like it one day, you carry on, don't you? This is the issue. You carry on because you feel they will wonder what's the matter with me. All right, so on your own, I find quite easier. I've got friends at home, but like I said, traveling for me is a solitary thing because I can please myself, and that is priceless, absolutely priceless. So yeah, how to get by in Thailand. Let's recap on that. So ease yourself into the food, all right? Okay. Use the pharmacy, all right? If you find the pharmacist to be not overly in your agreement, go and get a second opinion. There's one on every street corner. I've done that because the pharmacist has said something, and I thought, I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm qualified on one qualification to be just below doctorate, which is postgraduate. So one thing of it I didn't overly agree with. So I went to another pharmacist, and what they said was pretty much the same thing, but they put it in a different way, and yes, I agreed to it. And then I bought the treatment, which was cream for my bite marks, yeah? Because you want the best for yourself, don't you? Ease yourself into the food, all right? Don't get straight off an airplane without sleep, drinking copious amounts of alcohol, and then eating the local food, all right? Because, okay, you may be from a background in England where you're all hard nuts, nothing touches you, and all of that is for weaklings, but you are human at the end of the day, and it could make you unwell. And you paid a lot of money to get here. You know, it's the airfares are up at the moment, and you're talking what? I mean, in 2019, I did Thailand all in for 2 weeks for £600. Now it's costing 800. Okay, it costs you 600 on Air China, but you've got a 5-hour layover in Beijing, or 800 on Thai Airways, and you come straight here. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money just to get here. All right. Proportionally, though, I will say it's not a lot of money to get here because it costs £20 to get from my city to Heathrow Airport, which is proportionally highly expensive. All right. But generally, you've paid a lot of money to get here, all right? So you want to maximize your time for whatever you want to do. I mean, if you want to sit around in a bar drinking all day and after night, I'd say these places shut around 2 o'clock, because I've been sat in a bar in Pattaya, one of the rarer times that I've sat in a bar, and I was chatting away and enjoying myself, and about 2 o'clock they close, all right? They're not open all night. There's some 3 or 4, but generally about 2 o'clock, everybody sort of gets tired and wears out a bit, all right? So don't get straight off the plane. Go on the I don't like that saying on the lash. It's all a bit sort of like laddo, isn't it? Go drinking, and then start eating the food. Ease yourself in, all right? I mean, what I would recommend is when you get off that plane, go to your hotel and go to sleep, all right? Get some rest, all right? Because the heat, alcohol plus heat plus food you're not used to is a recipe, can be a recipe for disaster, all right? Okay, they get a problem in Spain. I was watching one of the Benidorm channels, and they get an issue in Spain where Brits get off the plane. They dump their cases at the hotel. They don't look at the name of the hotel. They go straight out drinking, and they can't remember where the hotel is. And they're there with a rep saying, well, it was in a place in front of the hill with some trees. Okay, so they got no idea what our hotel is because of literally going straight out drinking. And it's not something I would recommend. Yes, go drinking. Yes, eat the food, but pace it, all right? Okay. If you're only here for, I mean, I bumped into some guys from London. They were from the East End of London. Very nice guys on the plane on the way here. And they were only here for a week on a sort of whistle-stop tour, what one of them booked. I mean, and I think that maybe you could try the food on the way home, all right? But if you're here for a week, I would recommend do the fast food outlets, all right? I mean, you can play it safe with them, all right? So the big chains, I don't like mentioning their names on here because one lot of fast food chain, I don't personally like them. I don't like their politics. I don't like their ethics. But do the fast food chains, and that will, it won't do, it's not healthy, but hopefully you won't get unwell on the food, all right? Because you've only got a week, you've got 7 days. I mean, you know, you want to maximise that. Even for 2 weeks, I would still play it safe, all right? I mean, there's pizza houses here where you can get pasta meals. On Soybecow, there's an Italian pizza house. I've eaten in there, it's very good. And here in Mahachai, the local shopping mall, there's an Italian restaurant where I had an Italian meal the other day, all right, which is playing it safe, isn't it? All right. So, like I said, how to get by in Thailand. Thing to do is ease yourself in, all right. If you're here for more than a month, all right, graduate the easing yourself into the food, all right, and the heat. But if you're only here for a week, don't. I personally would play it safe with some of these big international chain food sellers, and that will tide you over for a week. I wouldn't do it for any longer than that. All right, and like I said, don't make any remarks about the King of Thailand or the Thai royal family. It's against the law here. You could get ran in. You just don't want trouble, do you? You don't want trouble. You're a long way from home. And if you get doing all that, the British government won't be able to help you because it clearly states on the .gov website about how to behave in Thailand, all right? Make yourself, the pound is not doing well against the Thai baht at the moment. It's actually dropped since I was here before. So your money isn't going to go that far. But it is, I think in the tourist places, like any tourist place, if you were in London, in the UK, there's somebody there trying to fleece you, and any tourist trap anywhere, they're trying to get money out of you. But where I am at the moment, which is non-tourist Thailand, they're not trying to do that, and the prices here are very reasonable. Like I said, this hotel room here, all right, £15. You've got this sort of deluxe giant double bed, balcony, all sorts, all mod cons, all modern conveniences in here, and it's £15 a night. My local holiday resort is Weston-super-Mare in the UK, and I checked out going back how much it would be to stay in the, I mean, this is the equivalent of, I would say, what would I say? There's no restaurant here. It's staffed 24 hours a day. It is spotlessly clean. The all cleaners who come in there, they are wonderful people. I love them dearly. I would say this is the equivalent of maybe Premier Inn in the UK, all right? And you would not get Premier Inn in the UK for £15 a night. Going back in the noughties, I was in a relationship then, and we used to do World War II sites a lot. And we stayed at Dover to do Dover Castle, Operation Crossbow, all of that. I ought to go back and do it for the other channel actually, because it is very interesting. The Dunkirk operation was organised from there. Operation Dynamo, Operation Crossbow, which was shooting down V1 rockets and V2s, was organised from there, where they used US Army anti-aircraft batteries. So I ought to go back to Dover for the other channel. But the problem with going back to Dover for the other channel, all right, Dover is a very overlooked town, all right. It's where Hellfire Corner was. People go to France from Dover, so they don't actually visit Dover. We visited Dover, which is a worthy visit. But the problem with it is, I get this for 50. This is the whole problem with the UK. I get this for £15 here, yeah? I don't get a Premier Travel Inn for £15 a night in Dover, all right? You know, which makes it, it would cost me, what was I going to say? Sort of, yeah, Western Supermare, equivalent hotel to this, £700 for 7 nights, £700. I mean, this is £15 a night, so that's that's £105 for 7 nights. 7 nights at Western Supermare, or probably Dover, in the same grade accommodation would be £700. That is your airfare for Thailand, isn't it, nearly? All right, so UK needs to get real. In a way, watch my video on Broken Britain. Yeah, watch my video on Broken Britain. Yeah, so like I said, you will get by. The majority of your money is on airfare. You can live very cheaply while you're here. Ease yourself in, all right? Don't get making remarks at the government. And another thing is, I mean, I'm older, but you do get young guys here, all right? Okay, you do get young guys. I wouldn't say they're teenagers here. This isn't your 18 to 30s. Your 18 to 30s are in Spain, they're in Magaluf, they're in the Greek islands, they're in those places. This is your 30 and over. But still in your 30s, you have that, you know, I'm a hard nut type thing about me, and all the girls fancy me, and I think I'm it. And I have a few beers, and I want to take the world on. Do not get into problems with the Thai police, okay? All right? Whatever you do, all right? The Thai police are armed. They don't have any messing about, and you could land yourself in custody or a Thai prison, all right? Okay, and we've all seen all the programs about it, with the British government being unable to negotiate to get you out because you have engaged in violent drunken acts on the street. Do not do it, all right? Okay, whatever you do, do not act here like you would act other places, all right? Because they will not tolerate it, all right? If you're over 40, there would be something wrong with you if you're acting like that. And if you're over 60, I would severely concern about your health if you're acting like that, all right? But all you guys 30 to 40, yeah, okay, you still got the strength there, you still, you know, up together, you're hard nuts, this, that, and the other. But you will cease to be a hard nut in a Thai prison, all right? And the whole thing is, I mean, I grew up in a poor area. I grew up on my city's most notorious council estate. You might be the hardest bloke in the area, but there's always somebody who wants to take you on. There's always somebody who's harder than you, all right? And don't get into it. Just don't get into it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you get by here. If you come in here, have a great time, all right? And I'll, until next time.
Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and until next